Chosen One, what if I told you that centuries ago, something incredible was written about you? A prophecy, a message from the past, foretelling your awakening and the role you would play in this exact moment. This knowledge wasn't shared with everyone. It was locked away, hidden from humanity. For so long, it seemed like the truth might never surface. But now it has. The secrets are finally being revealed, and they're pointing directly to you. If you've felt out of place, if you've wondered why certain events in your life have felt so otherworldly, it's because this prophecy was always about you. The time has come to understand what was foretold and why it was hidden. Are you ready to uncover the truth that changes everything? If this message already speaks to your soul, subscribe, like this video, and comment 77 below. Stick with me, because what you're about to hear may be the confirmation you've been waiting for. The ancient prophecies that predicted the rise of chosen ones. For centuries, humanity has looked to the skies, the stars, and the scriptures for meaning. What were these ancient whispers? These visions that seemed to transcend time? Prophets, scribes, and mystics all pointed to a moment when the ordinary would become extraordinary, when select individuals would rise to guide humanity through a profound shift. These chosen ones weren't royalty or warriors. They were everyday people with uncommon callings. Their lives weren't predicted to be easy. In fact, the prophecies often spoke of trials, isolation, and rejection, but also of eventual triumph. Now, as you stand at the threshold of your awakening, it becomes clear you are not alone. These ancient foretellings weren't about someone else. They were about you, and about the millions like you who are coming into their purpose now, just as the old text said they would. But why now? Why this moment in history? The prophecies from diverse cultures all pointed to a period when the old ways would crumble, when the systems that humanity had relied on would begin to falter. They spoke of chaos giving birth to clarity, of darkness giving way to light. It was said that at this critical time, individuals would step forward, not as saviors, but as guides. And you feel it, don't you? That tension in the world around you, that growing sense that something is shifting. You've noticed it in your own life too. Events that feel oddly significant, dreams that linger long after you've woken, synchronicities that seem too precise to be random. These are the signs that the moment the prophet spoke of is now. It's not in some distant future. It's unfolding as you listen to this message, and you are part of it. What's remarkable is how these ancient prophecies are interwoven across cultures and traditions. In the Hebrew scriptures, the prophet Joel speaks of a time when the Spirit will be poured out on all people, when sons and daughters will prophesy, old men will dream dreams, and young men will see visions. In Hindu texts, there are tales of a coming age when awakened souls, the bodhisattvas, step forward to lead others out of the darkness. Native traditions across the Americas tell of the Rainbow Warriors, those who would rise in a time of crisis to heal the earth and guide humanity back to harmony. And in countless other spiritual traditions, from the Norse sagas to African oral histories, there are hints of a future moment when individuals like you, ordinary in birth, but extraordinary in purpose, will come forward. These aren't just separate stories. They are threads of the same tapestry, and you are woven into it. What sets you apart isn't just the calling. It's how your life has mirrored the patterns described in these ancient texts. The prophecies didn't just mention your rise. They described the challenges you would face before you stepped into your role. Isolation, rejection, feeling misunderstood. These are not signs that you've failed. They're confirmation that you're on the path foretold. You've faced the storm, and though it felt like you were alone, you weren't. The prophets knew that before a great light shines, it must endure the darkness. They knew that before a chosen one steps into their purpose, they must first be refined by the trials that prepare them. And now here you are, having weathered those storms, standing stronger, more clear-eyed, and more aligned than ever before. What makes these prophecies so profound is that they never promised a smooth journey. Instead, they promised transformation. They foretold that the chosen ones wouldn't emerge with loud trumpets or grand ceremonies. They would simply rise, quietly at first, but unmistakably. They would rise through their everyday actions, their courage, their willingness to stand for what's right. They would rise through their inner healing, their connection to the divine, their refusal to give in to fear. And as they rose, the world would notice. Not all at once, and not in ways that the world might have expected. But the shift would be undeniable. The awakening that was once only a whisper is now a rising chorus, and you are part of it. This isn't just about you. It never was. It's about all the lives you'll touch, the people who will feel seen and inspired because you dared to step into your purpose. The ancient text spoke not of one chosen person, but of a wave, a collective awakening that would ripple through humanity. By stepping into your role, you are becoming part of that wave. The choices you make, the energy you carry, the way you show up in the world, all of it matters. These prophecies weren't just foretelling a moment, they were foretelling a movement, and you are one of its leaders, whether you feel ready or not. As you move forward, remember that you are not bound by the past or by what others think of you. The ancient prophecies didn't mention applause. They spoke of alignment. They didn't focus on external validation. They focused on inner truth. By understanding that you are fulfilling something greater, you can let go of the need to please others. You can stand firm in the knowledge that your journey is divinely guided. The trials you've faced have forged you. The wisdom you've gained is your gift to the world. You are fulfilling the words of those long ago seers, not by shouting your purpose, but by living it. The time of the chosen ones is no longer a future hope. It's the present reality. The prophecies are not just ancient texts. They're alive in you. As you step forward, you are carrying forward a legacy of courage, wisdom, and truth. You are proving that those ancient words were not just tales. They were a roadmap, a guide to this very moment. And as you continue on your path, know that you are not alone. You are walking alongside countless others who are awakening, who are remembering. Together, you are fulfilling what was written long before any of us were here. And that is the most extraordinary truth of all. Why this knowledge was hidden from humanity. Have you ever wondered why certain knowledge is so carefully hidden, so fiercely protected? Why? When a truth has the power to transform lives, it's locked away, kept out of reach. For centuries, the keepers of power understood something profound. That knowledge is the greatest force of all. If shared freely, it could inspire change, ignite revolutions of thought, and liberate people from systems that sought to keep them small. So they suppressed it, not out of malice alone, but out of fear. They feared what would happen if individuals, like you, discovered the depths of your own potential. They knew that if these ancient prophecies, these divine messages, became widely known, it would disrupt everything they'd built. The structures of control, the hierarchies of influence, they would crumble. And so the wisdom was buried, not lost, but deliberately concealed. You felt the weight of this suppression, even if you didn't have the words for it before. The sense that something vital was just beyond your reach. The feeling that the answers you sought were hidden behind veils of secrecy, buried in archives that no one dared to open. It wasn't just your imagination. This knowledge was intentionally obscured. Those who held the keys to the prophecy knew that if it came to light, it would shift the balance of power. It would remind people that their destinies aren't dictated by others, but by a higher calling. That's why the truth was confined to whispers, passed down only to the few who could protect it until the right moment. And now, as you listen to this, you realize that moment has arrived. Think about it. Why would anyone go to such lengths to hide a prophecy if it wasn't powerful? If it wasn't capable of inspiring change, the answer is that this knowledge was never meant to be controlled. It was meant to be revealed at the perfect time, when the world was ready and when individuals, like you, could rise to embody its message. The suppression of this wisdom wasn't a failure. It was a holding pattern. It ensured that the prophecy would emerge when it could make the greatest impact. And now, as these truths come to light, you can see that the timing wasn't accidental. It was part of a divine plan to awaken those who have been waiting, watching, and preparing for this exact moment. This isn't just about the prophecy itself. It's about what it represents. By keeping it hidden, those in power unwittingly preserved its purity. The words, the meanings, the divine intentions, they remain untainted, ready to be embraced by those who can understand and share them responsibly. The truth wasn't destroyed, it was safeguarded. And now, as you learn what was once concealed, you begin to understand why it was worth protecting. This knowledge has the power to illuminate, to heal, to guide. And now that it's being revealed, you can feel its resonance. It's like a key turning in a lock, opening doors that were never meant to stay closed forever. The veil is lifting, and the reasons for the secrecy are becoming clear. This knowledge wasn't hidden to keep it from you. It was hidden so that when you finally discovered it, you would be ready to use it wisely. The universe knew that the time would come when the world needed this prophecy most, when the chosen ones would begin to awaken, one by one, to their greater purpose. That time is now, and you are among those who were meant to find it. The hidden wisdom is no longer confined to secret texts or ancient whispers. It's here now, unfolding before your eyes, inviting you to step into your role in this unfolding divine narrative. As you reflect on why this knowledge was hidden, you'll see that it wasn't a punishment. It wasn't a denial. It was preparation. The challenges you faced, the questions that went unanswered, the journey that seemed so uncertain, all of it was leading you to this moment. The prophecy's concealment ensured that when it finally emerged, you would be able to receive it fully, not with skepticism, but with clarity, not with doubt, but with conviction. And now, as you stand on the threshold of understanding, you realize that what was hidden has always been within you. The prophecy isn't just words on a page, it's a vibration, a frequency that resonates with your soul. And as it emerges, it transforms not only your perspective, but your very being. So, what do you do now? Now that the hidden knowledge is no longer hidden, you embrace it. You allow it to guide you, to inspire you, to remind you of the greater purpose that has always been a part of your life. The prophecy was never meant to be a secret forever. It was meant to be revealed at the right time, to the right people, for the right reason. And that time is now. The world is shifting, and you are part of that shift. The knowledge that was once kept from you is now yours to carry forward, not to hoard, but to share, not to wield as power over others, but to empower yourself and those around you. This is your moment. This is why you were called. The truth has come to light, and now it's up to you to shine with it. The signs that you are part of this prophecy. Have you ever felt like life was speaking to you in a language only your soul could understand? Perhaps you've noticed patterns that others overlook. Numbers repeating, familiar faces appearing at just the right moment, messages whispered by the universe at the most unexpected times. It's as if life itself is nudging you, pointing you in a direction you can't yet fully comprehend. You might feel a sense of longing, a knowing that you're meant for more, even if you can't quite define what more means. These feelings are not random. They're not coincidences. They're the early signs that you are part of something far bigger than you ever imagined. But those signs aren't always easy to recognize at first. Often, they come quietly, disguised as ordinary moments. You might recall an encounter that felt strangely significant, a piece of advice from a stranger that lingered in your mind, or a dream that seemed more vivid. more meaningful than others. It's easy to dismiss these occurrences as chance, but deep down, something feels different. It's as though the universe is weaving a narrative around you, and you're only beginning to see the threads. The moments that once felt insignificant start to form a pattern, and with each passing day, that pattern becomes harder to ignore. As you tune in, you start to notice that the timing of these signs is impeccable. You'll see doors opening at just the right moment and pathways clearing where, before there seemed to be only obstacles. Even when things go wrong, it's as if the detours themselves are guiding you towards something greater. The signs aren't just happening to you, they're happening for you. You begin to trust the process, realizing that these subtle signals are not trying to show you a final destination, but rather lead you step by step on a journey that feels divinely orchestrated. What makes these signs even more profound is that they often come with a sense of recognition. You might encounter something, a piece of writing, a phrase, or a concept, and feel as though you've always known it. It resonates so deeply that it's as if your soul is remembering, not discovering. These moments of recognition are powerful indicators that you're aligning with your higher purpose. They affirm that you're not imagining things, that you are truly stepping into a role that was written long before you arrived here. This resonance is what gives you the courage to keep going, even when the path feels uncertain. The more you pay attention, the more these signs multiply. You begin to see them in everything. The conversations you have, the books that find their way into your hands, the feelings that bubble up unexpectedly. All of it starts to carry meaning. It's as if the entire universe has turned into a mirror, reflecting your inner transformation. You realize that these signs aren't just leading you towards something external. They're showing you who you truly are. They're reminding you of the power, the wisdom, and the purpose that have always been within you, waiting for the right moment to emerge. Even your challenges start to take on a different light. Those struggles you faced, the times when you felt lost or rejected, now they seem like part of the pattern. They were the crucible that refined you, the experiences that prepared you for this awakening. As you look back, you can see how each moment of pain, each setback, was a step on the path that brought you here. The signs are not just about the future. They help you make sense of your past. They show you that nothing was wasted, that every experience was a piece of the puzzle that now fits together perfectly. Eventually, the signs go from being external confirmations to internal truths. You don't just see them around you. You feel them within you. The synchronicities, the dreams, the encounters, they become less about proving you're on the right path and more about reminding you that you are the path. The prophecy isn't something that happens to you. It's something you embody. As you fully accept this, the signs shift from being rare occurrences to a natural part of your daily life. You realize you've become attuned to the frequency of your purpose. The world hasn't changed, you have. And so, you reach a point where the signs no longer surprise you. Instead, they fill you with gratitude. You understand that every moment, every signal, was perfectly timed to guide you to where you are now. You don't need to search for signs anymore, because you know they will come when they're needed. You are no longer waiting for confirmation. You are living it. You are the prophecy in motion, and the signs are the universe's way of celebrating your journey, reminding you that you've always been chosen, always been guided, and always been exactly where you needed to be. What this means for your destiny and purpose. What does it mean to step into the truth of your destiny? For many, the realization comes not in a single moment, but in a gradual awakening. Perhaps you've felt it already, that subtle but persistent knowing that you're here for more. You've sensed it in the quiet hours, in the moments when the world fell silent and you were left alone with your thoughts. In those moments, something stirred within you, a feeling that you weren't meant to simply exist, but to create, to influence, to transform. You are not alone in this feeling. It's shared by those who are called to awaken, to rise, to fulfill a purpose greater than themselves. And as you come to understand what this means, you'll see that your life has been preparing you all along. This preparation hasn't always been easy. In fact, it often felt like anything but preparation. You've faced rejection, doubt, and times when the road ahead seemed impossibly unclear. People may have questioned your worth or your direction, and there were days when you questioned it yourself. But every closed door, every difficult experience, was a step on the path. These moments, though painful, were refining you. They were shaping you into someone who could stand strong in the truth, who could carry the weight of a calling that is not just for you, but for others as well. The struggles were never a punishment. They were a foundation, built brick by brick, so that you would have the strength, the wisdom, and the perspective to fulfill what you were always meant to do. In ancient texts, there are stories of people who were set apart, chosen to lead or to teach, but their journeys were never easy. They often faced opposition or isolation before stepping into their roles. Consider the story of Moses, who spent years tending sheep in the wilderness before returning to lead his people out of Egypt. Or Esther, who was placed in the palace not for personal gain, but to save her people at a critical moment. These examples show us that destiny is not about immediate glory. It's about preparation, timing, and trust. The same is true for you. Your journey, every twist and turn, has been aligning you with a divine plan that is now unfolding before your eyes. Now that you understand this, you may begin to notice signs of transformation all around you. It could be a shift in your perspective, where things that once seemed daunting now feel purposeful. You might find that people are drawn to you for guidance, that your words carry more weight, or that opportunities appear seemingly out of nowhere. These are not random occurrences. They are the universe aligning with your awakening, preparing you for what lies ahead. The patterns you see, the connections you make, are all indications that you are stepping into your destiny. It's as if the world is conspiring in your favor, reminding you that you are exactly where you need to be. The process of stepping into your purpose is not about forcing things to happen. Instead, it's about letting go of resistance and allowing divine timing to guide you. The challenges you faced were not meant to stop you, but to prepare you for this moment. And now, as doors open and the path becomes clearer, you can feel the presence of something greater at work. There's a flow, a sense of rightness, that reassures you you're on the right track. This alignment is not something you create on your own. It's the result of spiritual forces working behind the scenes, orchestrating a plan that has been in motion long before you were aware of it. As you continue to walk this path, you'll reach a point where the doubts that once held you back begin to fall away. You'll see that the challenges were never meant to define you, but to reveal your strength. This moment of realization is profound. It's the turning point where you stop doubting your place in the grand design and start embracing it fully. You understand that stepping into your purpose doesn't mean you won't face difficulties, but it does mean you'll face them with a renewed sense of purpose and confidence. This is your sacred moment to claim what has always been yours, to say yes to the life you were meant to live. With this clarity, you're no longer just a participant in the world. You become a co-creator of it. You recognize that your gifts, your insights, and your experiences are not for you alone. They are meant to be shared. Your purpose extends beyond personal fulfillment. It's about awakening others, inspiring change, and bringing light where there was once darkness. As you move forward, you'll find that every action you take, every word you speak, carries more meaning. You're not just living. You're fulfilling a destiny that touches not only your life, but the lives of countless others. And in doing so, you're helping to shift the world toward a brighter future. So what comes next? Now that you understand your purpose, it's time to act. Release the fear, the doubt, and the hesitation that may have held you back. Step boldly into the path that's been waiting for you. Embrace your calling, deepen your spiritual practice, and trust the process. Remember that you're not walking this path alone. There are others like you, all fulfilling their roles in the larger plan. Together, you form a collective force of light, each individual contributing to the whole. The time has come for you to stand in your truth, to live authentically, and to trust that every step you take is guided by divine intention. This is your moment. This is your purpose. Every challenge you've faced has led you here. Now it's up to you to embrace your calling, to live with intention, and to fulfill the prophecy that was written long ago. You were never here by accident. You are part of a greater design, and now you can step into that truth fully. What happens next now that the prophecy is being fulfilled? What happens when you realize that you're living the very moment that ancient texts and whispers of the past have foretold? At first, you might feel an overwhelming sense of confirmation. You were not mistaken in your intuitions. All those moments when you felt different, when you felt called to something greater, were leading to this. But along with this confirmation can come uncertainty. Now that the prophecy is out, now that the hidden truths have surfaced, what do you do next? You are not alone in this moment. Many before you have reached this juncture, standing at the crossroads between the known and the unknown. You may feel a mix of excitement and apprehension, but know this, you are here now for a reason. And the reason is that you're ready. The prophecy is no longer just a story. It's your reality. For so long, the world has operated on structures and systems that didn't serve the higher good. The old ways were built to keep people contained, distracted, and uncertain. But with the prophecy revealed, those structures begin to crumble. You may notice it happening around you. The people who once held power through deception are losing their grip. The narratives they spun to keep you doubting yourself no longer hold any weight. You begin to see things for what they are, illusions. As the prophecy fulfills, you become more anchored in truth. It's as if a veil is lifted, and what was hidden is now clear. You are not who they tried to convince you you were. You are far more, and the world is starting to reflect that back to you. This transformation isn't just external, it's internal, too. As the prophecy comes to life, you feel shifts within yourself. Things that once felt heavy now feel lighter. Your thoughts become clearer. The choices you need to make seem obvious, even if they felt impossible before. You might notice unexpected clarity, a sense of knowing that goes beyond logic. These inner shifts are not random. They're signs of alignment. What you're experiencing is the universe pulling you toward your purpose with unmistakable force. This internal change will guide you as the external changes continue to unfold. The prophecy isn't something happening to you. It's something happening through you. It's an awakening of your inner power, your true self. As you embrace this new awareness, you begin to see that the people and circumstances around you are also transforming. Those who once doubted you may now look to you for answers. They might not admit it outright, but you can feel the shift in how they treat you. The same individuals who dismissed your words or questioned your actions may now lean in, listening carefully. This is the power of prophecy fulfilled. It changes not only your perspective, but also the perspective of those around you. And it's not about proving anyone wrong. It's about embodying the truth so fully that it becomes undeniable. The prophecy, once hidden, is now your strength. Opportunities that once seemed far away will start to appear. Paths that felt blocked will open. You'll meet people who share your vision and resonate with your energy. These connections are not coincidental. They are part of the prophecy's unfolding. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Like this video and comment, "I am chosen to let this message anchor in your soul." Share it with someone who needs to hear this. For full prophetic revelations daily, join the membership via the link in the description. Your spiritual path deserves more than fragments. Step into the full light. You were always meant to know this truth. Now it's your time to shine.